All right, so here we go. We're going to start in on lesson 9.4. We're going to talk about classifying triangles. We're going to do it two ways. One, by their angles, and two, by their sides. First, though, we better start talking about what is a triangle. This is one of your first vocab words. It is a closed plane figure. What we have over here. No gaps, no holes. All the points connect, all the sides connect, all that good stuff. And it has three straight sides that connect 3 points. So we name it with 3 letters with the symbol with the triangle right in front of it. So triangle RST has the sides RS, ST, and RT. And the vertices or the points are S and T. All right, so let's first classify our triangles by angles. So we can have acute triangles. That means there are 3 acute angles in the triangle. Remember, an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So it might look something like that. You can also have a right triangle, which means it has one, count them, one right angle. So if we draw that, we make it like 3-sided, and remember to put the little right angle symbol in there so it's really obvious that's a right triangle. And then lastly, you have an obtuse triangle. It has one obtuse angle. It could look something like that. See, we got the one obtuse angle there. Okay, now what I'd like to do is actually slide down to the bottom of this page and take a look at how we could classify these triangles. Okay, we're going to do it by angle, so we're going to use the words acute, right, and obtuse. So first one here, 70, 20, and it's a right angle, so that means it's 90 degrees, which means this is a right triangle. I just like to use the symbol for a triangle rather than writing out the whole word. Now, just because we can, I'd like to add up all the angle measures. 90 plus 70 plus 20 is 180 degrees. Now, let's look at part B. 40, 30, and 110. 40 and 30 are acute, but 110 is obtuse. It's larger than 90 and less than 180. So that means we have one obtuse angle, which makes this an obtuse triangle. Once again, let's add up our angle measures, see what they total. Oh, look at that. It totals 180 degrees again. Now let's look at part C. You have 75, 50, and 55. Those are all acute, all less than 90 degrees, which means we have an acute triangle. Aw, isn't it cute? It's little. All right, anyway, bad joke. Okay, now let's add up the angle measures again. 75, 50, and 55. We add those up, and lo and behold, it totals 180 degrees. Notice, all angles in a triangle total 180 degrees. All right, now let's remember that fact because we'll want to use it later. Now, I were you, I would pause the video, figure out or solve 1, 2, and 3. All you have to do is classify the triangle. You don't have to add up all the angles, but you have to classify it as acute, right, or obtuse, and then start the video again and see how you did. All right, so this one we have 25, 55, and 100. 2 acutes and an obtuse. So that makes this obtuse. Number 2, a right and 2 acutes. Well, simply having one right angle makes this a right triangle. And number 3, 70, 50, and 60, all acute. So we have an acute triangle. So that's how we classify triangles by their angles. Now we need to do this by their sides. So let's go back up to the top of the page and take a look at the second way we can classify triangles. We could say that's equilateral. Equi or equa, however you want to say it. Equal, lateral means sides. 3 sides of the same length. We were going to draw that out. You would have the same marking on each side of the triangle to show that those sides are equal and it's an equilateral triangle. The next one, an isosceles triangle, has at least 2 sides of the same length. So I could draw that one right here And I'm going to mark those two sides as the same. If we don't know about the third one, that's okay. And then lastly, scalene. It's 3 different side lengths. We've got a long one, a short one, and an in-between guy. They're all different lengths. Now this last part of the box we'll cover on the back side. All right, flip her over. And here we go with this example. Now let's classify the triangles by its sides. If you look at part A, 5, 5, and 8, 2 of them are the same length, so that makes it isosceles. Now, hopefully you're copying things down very carefully so you can practice spelling these the correct way. Okay, letter B, 4, 9, and 6. All different yard lengths, so that makes this one scalene. And lastly, in part C, you notice there are markings on the sides. We don't know what the side lengths are, but we know they're all the same. So we can say that this one is equilateral. Now, you can do like you did before. Pause the video for a moment. Do 4, 5, and 6. Classify the triangles by sides. Tell me whether they're equilateral, isosceles, or scalene, and then start it up again and see how you did. All right, if we look at number 4, we see 7, 7, and 7. All 7 centimeters, so that means this is equilateral. Number 5, however, 16, 10, and 8. Those are all different. That makes them scalene. And lastly, number 6, notice the 2 side markings. We don't know what the lengths are. It doesn't matter. We're just told they are the same. And so since there's at least 2 that are the same, this makes this an isosceles triangle. All right, now the last thing we need to look at is here in example 3. So we figured out when we were classifying the triangles by their angles that all the angle measures totaled 180 degrees. So we're going to use that fact, which we happen to have written right here, that all the angles total up to 180 degrees to help us figure out when we have a missing angle measure. So in this triangle, we know that we have a 110 degree angle and a 30 degree angle. We just have to figure out this missing one. We could write out a fancy equation, perfectly fine to do, but we can probably solve it just a little more simply without the fancy equation. Add up the 2 angles that you have. So you have 110 and 30. That equals 140. Now we know the total, and we can subtract what we have, the 140, and we'll figure out what's missing, the 40 degrees, and that's our answer. So we're going to do the same thing down here. In number 7, we have 65 degrees. We have a right angle, which means it's 90, and then we have our missing one. So let's add up what we do have. Let's add up our 65 and our 90 to give us 155. And then we take that 180 that we know we have for a total, and we go 180 minus 155. Don't forget to borrow. And you have a 25 degree angle for X. Now, if you want to try 8 and 9 on your own, you can pause the video, solve them, and then see how you did when you start it back up. Okay, so first thing you're going to have to do here is add your 135 and your 30 to get 165. Then take 180 minus 65 to get 15 degrees for your answer. And the last one here, number 9. You know 105 and 20, so you're going to add those two and get 125 degrees. Our total is 180, so we take 180 minus 125, and we get 55 degrees for our answer. So that's the kind of things you'll be doing in your homework today, so get ready to practice. Thanks.